Hi everyone, I'm Professor Pettit. Instead of having a formal class meeting this week, we're going to meet virtually. So I put this YouTube up to explain a bit about the course and to let you know what you'll be doing this term. First of all, this is a senior seminar, topics-based course that fits under media and society. And our topic is going to be selfies and selfie culture. I've sort of been intrigued by selfies the past couple of years, especially since they've become so important in politics and in celebrity and in defining ourselves online and in other situations. Um, Selfies are part of contemporary culture, and I thought it would be really a fun approach to take a more serious look at selfies and what they mean. So that's the topic for the term. Some of you probably already know me. And for those who don't, my office is in Humanities Wing 413, and I'm going to have in-person office hours on Mondays by 11 to 2 o'clock. It'd be nice if you could email me in advance for an appointment. And I'm also going to have Skype office hours on Wednesdays from 11 to 2. And so this is a new experiment for me, so we'll see how that goes, and we may switch everything over to Skype if that works best for the class. So in terms of what the class is about, we're going to be learning a more theoretically sophisticated and historically grounded understanding of selfies and selfie culture and their place within media culture. And so we're going to be looking at what some key media theorists have said about photography and looking how we might apply their insights, which were taken or made before selfies, to selfie culture at large. And then we're also going to learn various theories, and so you'll know about different ideas about selfies and be able to discuss the merits of these theories and how well you think they map onto the real world. The real heart of the course is to continue to develop visual critical analysis skills and critical writing skills. And so let me tell you a little bit about the course of the work, because a lot of it is going to be around presentation modes to work on our oral skills. A lot of students are getting ready to graduate. I know many of you are. You may be feeling nervous about it. One of the things to feel a little bit nervous about is interview processes. Often you go into a room and there's a group of people that you don't know who you have to speak to and talk to and not be too nervous in doing so. And so this is partly practice for those situations. So for the course, we're going to have 3 5 to 10 minute individual presentations. That's about 15%. We're going to start right away in the first class, because the first thing I want you to bring to class next week are 2 selfies. And by selfies, these can be selfies that you take of yourself in a situation. You can be inventive and creative. Don't be dangerous, of course. Or you can find a couple of selfies that have been published through online sources, and there are tons. There are blogs and Tumblrs devoted to selfies. Or you could mix that up and have one of each. And so you'll be talking about the selfie that you select in terms of the readings for this first week when we meet after Labor Day. And so these will be sort of spontaneous presentations, and we'll formalize them a little bit after the first class. And so after this, you'll know when your individual presentations are. By the way, this first one's just for fun. It doesn't count towards the 3 graded responses. Also working on oral presentation skills, you're going to do one 15 to 20 minute collaborative small group presentation. I have worked out readings so that the groups can be relatively small. And the cool thing about this is that while we don't have a midterm, we do have a final, and the final will be based in large part on those group presentations, which will be drawn from the readings. And so it's a way to incentivize everybody to do the reading, or if you can't do the reading, then to learn about it through the presentation. Those will also be assigned when we meet again on September 12th. In terms of the writing, there's one short written essay that I'll ask you to do analyzing 2 selfies. We're going to be looking at Roland Barthes' idea of punctum, and so your essay will be configured around a set of ideas that he offers, and that's due October 17th. And then one short multimedia online presentation using Wix or some platform of your choice, where you'll do 5 selfies, and they can be separate or together, connected to 5 course readings, and that's going to be due by midnight, November 14th. And then the other graded project is the research project due at the very last day of the semester when written work is accepted. And you can write either a traditional essay or a multimedia online presentation, which can include video, documentary, that revolve around a group of selfies that are related around a common theme or issue, event, a certain blog, or you can use your creativity to think about that. And so that'd be a sort of self-formulated research project, and we'll be talking about that in class and present lots of ideas. And then I am going to give a final exam, as I mentioned, to hold everybody accountable to the course readings and especially the group presentations. That'll be assigned by the registrar's office, and I'll announce that as soon as possible. I'm also giving 5% for class attendance that focuses on presentations. And the way this is going to work is I'll give everybody a response to the presentation, which you will then fill out. I will collect those and put a little mark in my database that you've turned it in, and then I will give those to the presenter if it's an individual presentation, or to the group if it's a group presentation, so that everybody gets lots of feedback on how their presentation went. And I will total all of those up, and students who are there 99.9% of the time get an A+. Students that are there 50% of the time get a, minus, like a D-. So that'd be an incentive to, again, come and do the presentations and learn from each other. I'm hoping this will be a really fun, dynamic class, and that this presentations will help us get there. I'm not going to go through all of the components of the syllabus, but do read through it. It's attached in Blackboard, where you got the link for this YouTube video. And so let me skip ahead to the first assignment. So again, I want you to bring 2 selfies to class. You can either put them on a memory stick, or if you have them online, be able to access them through an online link. Or if you need to, you can also email them to me before class, and I will put them on a stick and bring them in to show to the class. How you structure this presentation, this spontaneous presentation, is up to you, but I want you to do an interpretive sort of thesis to explain and support, and whether it's a selfie of yourself or a stranger that you find online, you should discuss the context and analyze the significance and the meaning of the selfie as you see it. And of course, I want you to be inspired by the assigned readings and refer to those readings as you do your presentation. And those will be 5 to 10 minutes. We'll see how they go. There'll be questions, discussion. And again, after this first tryout, we'll have assigned dates, so you'll know when you're doing your individual selfie presentation, and you can give it a bit more thought. I also want to announce, because we're not meeting before this happens, is that on Thursday, September 8, everyone can earn a bonus point. And the way I construct bonus points is to add 1 point to your score at the end of the semester. So if you score 79, say, I add 1 point and it raises your grade to 80, which is a B-. The event is called Implementing New Knowledge Environments. And what it's going to be is some various academics have been invited to campus to talk about the digital humanities. And so that's a very interesting area of media studies scholarship. And so I'll be there at that presentation and sort of discussion and presentation of these 10-minute talks. It's going to be held from 11 to 2 p.m. in AA 160. So that's on Thursday. And as an added incentive, lunch is included. So there's free food. And I'll be there with a sign-in sheet. So be sure to come in and see me. I'll make myself visible near the door so that you can come in. And if you can only stay for 40 minutes or half hour to see some of the presentations, you still get the bonus point. Students always say, oh, I couldn't come. Can I still get a bonus point? We'll see as the semester unfolds if there are other events like this that I can assign a bonus point for attendance. So far, this is the only bonus point I'm able to offer at this point in the semester. So finally, I just want to mention the readings. I want you to read an excerpt. It's the first chapter from a book by Jill Retberg called Seeing Ourselves Through Technology, which looks at how technology influences the way we see ourselves. We'll be reading several chapters out of this book, one of which is on selfies. We'll be reading that a little bit later. And then the second article I want you to read is Notes to Self, the Visual Culture of Selfies in the Age of Social Media. And so this will also give us further insight into sort of how we see ourselves through technology. And again, read through these, find your 2 selfies, and be prepared to talk about them in relationship to these articles and other issues and ideas that you have. So I look forward to seeing everybody on our next formal first meeting, which will be, let me think, September, well, you can figure it out. It's on Monday. Anyway, have a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you don't have any other Thursday classes, so you don't have to come to university early and can enjoy the last days of summer. So see you soon, everybody, and have a great couple of weeks here. Bye.